This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, coming live and direct from SummerSlam weekend, and he, on the other side here, is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Hey, man. It's the Blue Meanie.
Oh, hey, man.
If I did not say so myself, it appears the Blue Meanie has joined us this morning. What's going on, dude?
Normally we end the show with a question, but I like to start the show with a question. It's a very serious question.
Of course.
And, I've been thinking about this all night, and since it entered my head last night, and I was like, I even made a little note in my phone. Ask Adam this question starting the podcast tomorrow morning. So, Mr. Barnard.
Yes.
What was I am so stupid. What was Whitney Houston's favorite coordination?
What was Whitney Houston's favorite coordination?
Coordination. Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
What was Whitney Houston's favorite coordination?
I'm not sure.
And I. Sorry.
I'm going to use that forever now.
Somebody hit me with it last night.
Oh my God.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard. Because it's the cell. It's the cell.
Yes.
And I. And all night I just kept walking around going, and I.
So
Not the greatest joke in the world, but
I love it. I love it, man. Jesse Brown says any left-handed cigarettes involved in telling that joke?
No.
No jazz cabbage this morning, sir.
Oh.
Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for the good laugh here in the morning. I appreciate you.
I try.
It has been quite a weekend so far. I'm here coming to you live from sunny, scenic Montclair, New Jersey. Back off to SummerSlam today for night 2. But meaning we're going to make it short and sweet today. We're going to talk all about SummerSlam night 1. Talk about some of the results that took place yesterday during the big show. I want to say hi to everybody here in the Patreon chat. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. Tiers start at just $10 a month. Mass sanity, greetings and salutations at the top of the show. Meaning, I got to say too, I want to give a huge shout out to Mass Sanity here. Helped me set up my interview and my conversation with Karrion Kross this weekend at Bookends over at the bookstore in New Jersey. Very, very grateful. Hilarious conversation. Kross started the conversation by yelling Jenga. And you can see me jump because I wasn't expecting it. But wonderful guy. Big turnout for him. I'll tell you, man. We'll get to that in a second. We'll talk about that match. But I want to talk about that big pop he got over at the American Dream Mall. Got Andy Schlichter here. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. Jesse Brown is here. Good morning, friends and family. Happy SummerSlam Sunday and happy SummerSlam Sunday to you. And of course, a pleasant Baba Booey to you. Baba Booey to you, sir. Enjoying all the content, Adam. Thank you very much, Jesse. Got a lot of good stuff coming. Hopefully some more stuff after today as well. It's been a busy weekend, but I am glad to be here with you as well. Meaning, let's start right at the top, good sir. Let's talk about the big main event, the big swerve that no one saw coming. I know we both had some feelings on this angle, but I want to just give the recap in case you haven't seen it. Spoiler alert, friends. You can turn it off now. CM Punk won the World Heavyweight Championship last night off of Gunther in an amazing match.
Yeah.
Real violent, real hard slapping, big meaty men slapping meat. Only for Seth Rollins to swerve the world and cash in and reveal, rather, that his knee injury was not accurate and cash in to win the big gold belt 2.0. Meanie, what are your thoughts on the swerve? What were your thoughts on the match? And what do you think happens now?
Bro, they got me. They definitely swerved me. I had all these theories of why it wasn't a work, with it, the injury happening on Saturday night's main event, and how network TV time's precious, and
Yeah.
you don't want to do that. And then I had the theory that Rollins' injury affected the Goldberg Gunther match, and leading to Goldberg's speech getting cut short. I had all these theories, and I was like, oh no, it had to be a shoot. And my God, they got me. They hooked me hook, line, and sinker. And for all those people who go, oh, kayfabe's dead. Kayfabe's not dead. That was the perfect example of kayfabe, where you work an injury, you sell the injury, you live up the injury 24/7 while you're out in public. He went on the Rich Eisen show to talk about his injury and said, well, I have to wait for the swelling to go down to, before they can go further into my knee, and hook, line, and sinker. They got me. And I love it. I love it when I can be fooled, just as much as I like to show off when I call something, I love it just as much as when I get fooled, and they fooled me last night. So Punk and Gunther, I thought it was a solid ass match. Very good match. The emotions on Punk's face when he won, were tremendous. He he did the Shawn Michaels sitting there staring at the belt, the boyhood dream shot, relived that, and that was pretty cool. And then Seth Rollins music hits, and you're like, oh geez, what's he gonna do?
Yep.
Paul Heyman comes out with the briefcase and holds it up, and he comes out in the crutches. You're like, oh, what's he gonna do? A limp in? It's never.
Yep. I thought
is he gonna have two guys? Is he gonna have his? I thought Seth was gonna have Bron and Braun Breaker and what's his name?
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. You give me two B's, I'm confused. Bron and Bronson. The law firm of Bron and Bronson.
And that's the name of the episode.
Yes. He's going to have him come down, destroy Punk, and then limp down and lay on top of Punk for the belt. So I thought that, but when he turned around and like he's walking away, that's when I thought Braun and Bronson were going to come out.
Yeah. It's funny. The
slow reveal of the crutches, and ironically, he took off the knee brace the way Punk took off his arm brace to hit Drew McIntyre with it. At Mania 40. But sorry, I didn't mean to step off.
No, you're fine. I get it's the ADHD in me, and it's like all these things thinking all the time.
You're fine.
I was thinking the same. It's funny you said that. I was thinking the same thing. I'm watching the match, and I'm going, or I'm watching the post match angle, and I'm going, what's going to happen here? Is Bronson and Bron going to come out? They're going to lay him out. He's going to limp down to the ring, and he's going to take the belt, right? Because at least that way he can hold the belt until he's uninjured, right? Until he's back in the ring. If it's not going to be that serious, that's how they can spin it. And my mind started going 1,000 places. Or are they just setting this up for when eventually he comes back, right? But then as soon as he turned around and he was walking slow, I was like, oh, we're getting swerved here. We're getting a huge swerve here. And then all of a sudden, like the whole press box was like, oh, everybody's groaning and yelling and shit. But man, watching Punk win that belt, man, he's now a 10-time champion at WWE. And that was a super cool moment to experience that live. And this feud feels like it's never ending, man. Feels like it's going to go on forever, but I kind of like it. I kind of enjoy where it's going to go. It's going to build almost like in a way, it's going to build a story to like a Cody finish the story kind of thing, like Punk and Rollins finally getting that big match at WrestleMania. I feel like Punk will finally go over for the big gold belt. Maybe they'll do it in Saudi Arabia at the Rumble. I don't know, but man, it's lighting up all kinds of stories. So I'm very excited about it. But Gunther, I got to shout out Gunther too, man. Gunther took a big bump and he was bleeding, brother. Oh, you got me, brother. And what did you think about Gunther's performance?
Oh, I thought the whole match was fantastic. I didn't expect anything less.
Yep.
No those two. And the ironic part is, I've been watching the WWE Unreal show, and there's a moment where they show Punk, sitting backstage with Gunther, and he's asking Gunther for to watch his match, and so hey, tell me how my match is and all that stuff. And to see the respect they have between the two, shows in the ring.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you want to be a professional with everybody, but when you're in a ring with somebody you really respect, it's that much better. But I thought the match was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought they did a really great job. Lots of great stuff in here this morning from the Pod Squad. Gunther and Punk know how to tell a story in the ring. They absolutely do. There was multiple times where I thought it was going to be over. They had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. Jesse Brown says they pulled the old Willy Wonka through the crutches and cashed in. Yes, he did, man. That was a shot. That was a sight too, man. Going back and watching that clip this morning was like, dag, that was a view and a half. Like watching him toss them Johns was crazy.
Yeah, that might have been the earthquake they felt last night in North Jersey.
Just gonna say that it could have been the earthquake. It could have been an actual earthquake, or it could have been the noise from Punk winning and then Seth cashing in.
Yeah,
would have been interesting. As Jesse Brown says, Drew held the belt at Mania for a few seconds longer than Punk. I'm sure that's going to get worked into the story somehow.
Yeah,
we will absolutely see that coming. But yeah, great match. Looking forward to it. I thought it was a perfect way to tie up night one. Couple of other notes from the show. Karrion Kross, as we mentioned, friend of the show, had his first SummerSlam match with Sami Zayn in unfortunately a losing effort.
Yeah.
And now it seems like their storyline is tied up. How do you feel about, where Kross is going now and that storyline now that it's all buttoned up?
I really would have liked to have seen Karrion get the win, of course.
Of course.
Because people expected Sami to win. I don't necessarily think it's buttoned up. I don't think, maybe it's a continuation somehow, with Karrion, still kind of being a heel. So, maybe not accepting the terms of the loss. I don't know. Well, we shall see. But I thought SummerSlam overall was a pretty solid event.
Yeah.
The crowd seemed a little quiet for the first half, but I don't know what stadium shows are always weird.
Yeah.
But,
it can be weird with the sound dynamics too, because MetLife, much like the Link, there's no roof on the top of it, so the sound is going to be
escapes.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot different than it would be in a normal situation. But yeah, like I said, I mean, Kross seemed to be in good spirits at the book signing. He seemed to be having a good time. I'll tell you, when I went over to the American Dream Mall, I guess that was Friday, his line for the photo ops was, wrapped around. And as soon as he came out, man, the whole place went apoplectic. They went crazy for him. And it's just cool to see the dynamics and the force behind him. And, I know there's conversation about whether or not he and Scarlett have re-signed. And, obviously we don't want to talk about that. That's not our business, but we're hoping that they come to an agreement and he keeps continuing on, because I think there's a lot of miles left on that story. So.
Yeah, absolutely. He's picking up steam, and, hopefully creative sees that, and hopefully they hear that, he's been relegated to, the main event show for a little while now, and every time he comes out, he gets a huge ovation. Now, the crowd usually tells you who's over, who's not, and he's over. And it'd be, if they don't utilize him, you kind of have to wonder why. Why wouldn't you utilize a guy who, is he looks great, works great, and is picking up organic following.
Yeah.
So it's a mystery to me. why hopefully this is the beginning of something good for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it's a good, again, I hope it's a good angle. Hope it's a good continuation. I'm often wondering because he's been referencing the killer part of his persona recently. And I'm hoping maybe that they bring that back. They turn that,
Keep the hair though. I want him to keep
yeah,
the hair. It's
yeah.
very luxurious.
It's long and wavy. And man, that dude is like terrifying in person. Like you talk to him on the phone, he's a big guy, intimidating. I'm like, man, they could run miles with this guy, man. And I hope it happens. But
yeah, he definitely has a future as a voice actor,
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. He's got all, again, it's like, it's all the charisma is there, of the speaking ability, the in-ring ability. I think a lot of times I feel like this is just that slow burn, it's like that continual, like waiting for that crowd to pick it up. And I think we're going to get something good out of this. So fingers crossed, y'all. But, one of the other things I wanted to mention too about the match or about the show was Jade Cargill not taking the belt off of Tiffany Stratton. A lot of people were really surprised about that, the way they were building the match. What were your thoughts on Jade Cargill losing to Tiffany Stratton last night?
I think it's a case of they probably already had a few title changes on the show. As much as I was saying this to myself, before the show, is like, I would love to see Punk win the championship, but I hate when belts, are won and then lost almost immediately. You know what I'm saying? Just it kind of not really cheapens the belt, but it's just like, can we have a solid champion for a little while? And of course Punk won, and I was just like happy for him. For him just to lose it to back, to Seth. But when it comes to Tiffany and Jade, it's just like, I think Jade's going to get a little run with the belt. So, and I don't think they want to hot potato it. Like there was a couple title changes. The women's tag changed.
Yep.
Punk won the belt, the world belt, and I don't know if I'm trying to think of what else there was, but when it comes to the women's title, I think they just want to have Tiffany have a nice little run with it, without dropping it. And like I said, wins and losses really don't matter. As long as you get people, it's the moments that matter.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, you want to win championships, sure, but I get to guarantee you, if you bring up a lot of people's win losses records, they've lost more than they won. Somebody's got to lose in order for somebody to win, and I think Tiffany's going to have a nice little run with this with the championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think I wonder, like you said, I wonder, you have the match at SummerSlam, like, oh shit, she did win, like it's over for her, she's buried, brother, this, that, and the other. But again, we've seen it multiple times in the past few years with WWE, where somebody loses big at one of the big major events, and then all of a sudden they win at the next one, and then they crown that, and at the moment still feels big, right? It doesn't feel like it's missing anything because of not winning it at SummerSlam or not winning it at WrestleMania. So I'm hoping to see that we'll see what happens there. Tiffany seems destined to be at the top of the card for quite some time. But yeah, I mean, all around, I thought it was a pretty solid match, a pretty solid card, rather. Pretty unique event. But one question I have for you, which is on the tips of every wrestling fan's tongue. That was a hard sentence for me to say for some reason. It's early and I haven't slept much, but there's been conversation about potentially seeing a Cody Rhodes heel turn tonight. And we can put our looking forward into the future's past hats on for a minute. Yeah. Do you think Cody sells his soul? And do you think this Cena babyface turn is legitimate?
Oh man. It's like I was taking when I was watching SmackDown on Friday, and Cena came out and cut that babyface-ish promo. It reminded me of Sergeant Slaughter after he had been with the Iraqis and kind of did that promo. I want my country back.
Oh yeah.
And he said some very poignant things, like the people. I was blinded by the chase of my 17th championship, and the people who convinced me to change, disappeared. I had this vision in my head of Cena and Cody having like kind of like a babyface baby, as much as you can have a babyface street fight, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they have it'll be like the fight in Anchorman. All right, let's lay down some rules. No face, no hair. I said,
Of course.
of course. Eat, eat. They have a gentleman's agreement before the street fight.
Yeah.
Uh, my and I. Here's my vision.
My vision.
Somewhere along the match, Cena's and Punk, Cena's back to being a babyface, and he's standing there, and he's about to maybe do something dastardly, he's been hitting people with the belt, the win stuff, and Cody could be down, he's standing there with the belt, about to hit him. He says, "Fuck it," throws down the belt, and just does something else. Hit Rock's music. Hit Rock's music. Here comes the Rock. He said, Dewey comes down. He stands there and he says something to Cena while Cody's down selling on the ground. He admonishes him for not finishing him off. And John Cena looks at the Rock with a microphone in hand. John Cena goes, "Hey Rock, go fuck yourself."
Man, that would be huge, dude.
A full circle, go fuck yourself. And then somehow that leads to Cody taking advantage, not in a heel way,
right?
Slip behind him, hit the crossroads, 1, 2, 3, wins the belt. Or Cena tells Rock, "Go fuck yourself," kicks Rock in the nuts, or something, because truthfully, Rock was behind the whole heel turn, selling the soul, and he really hasn't been around to explain why he, or how he got Cena to turn. There's been no explanation. So maybe they could put a button on, that. I don't see Cody turning heel because right now, if Cena turns babyface, he would be the biggest babyface in the world, right?
Yeah.
And his time is, no pun intended, his time is running out. His time is now, but his time is running out. You're still going to need a top babyface in the company, and Cody's that guy for right now. So, I could see Cena, remaining babyface, ending his career as a babyface. We could do the old Men in Black mind eraser and forget this heel turn ever happened.
Yeah.
And Cody, you continue on as a babyface champion, and continue on, once John's gone and we officially wrapped up.
Yeah, I don't. There's been something about this entire heel turn that's just felt off to me. And now finding out that Travis Scott, obviously, we hear the rumors are that he's no longer in any way working with the company because
he was supposed to be in the game and they took him out, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the game. He was supposed to be a big part of this story through the year. Nothing has happened since that point. I think they were planning on him being involved in some kind of match. Obviously, that hasn't happened. And it's interesting to see also too, because The Rock hasn't been around, and I was reading a couple things about it where it was like, The Rock had said by his own admission, apparently during, I can't remember which show it was or which interview, he was like, after Elimination Chamber, he's like, "Oh, well, my job here is done and I don't need to do anything else." Well, I mean, in the storyline aspect, if you're going to be the guy that's facilitating and pushing all of these things through, like you kind of have to be there, right? Like you have to see this through. And I'm again, to be clear, I'm not knocking Dwayne. I know he's a fan of the show. I'm not saying anything like that. Like I'm just saying from an objective, like storyline perspective, right? Like you're kind of leaving everything out in the open, and there's no real payoff on whether Cena sold his soul or whether it was just business. Like there's missing things, and I think after, and to kind of tie it back, watching WWE Unreal, Dwayne says to Hunter during the conversation, he's like, it should be business. It shouldn't have anything to do with Cena selling his soul. It's just business because of the 17th win. And in that context, it's like, oh, well, that makes a ton of sense. And I wish they would have just explained it that way. You know, like I wish there wouldn't have been the cloak and dagger after Cena's heel turn. You know, they could have gone, he could have gone on the air and said that, and it would have would have tied it up easily.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I don't necessarily know what comes next with Rock, but I do think we're going to get that Hogan Warrior moment. You know, what was that? WrestleMania 7, WrestleMania 6?
Hogan. Oh yeah.
The double babyface match.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going to end up. And it could very well be, oh man, I think we just connected the dots here, Blue. I think we just connected it where it's going to be, you know, Hogan, Cena elevating Warrior, you know, Cody as the next big guy, which is possible, but curious to see what happens tonight.
Another Rock Hogan, you
Yeah.
know, at the end where Cena raises Cody's hand, it does the like Rock, or Rock did to Hogan, you know.
Yep, paying it forward, man. That's the way you're supposed to do it. But pay it forward, bro. Oh, you got me, brother. One final thing before we get into our favorite segment of the show. Want to talk about another friend of the show, Jacob Fatu. Got a big match tonight at SummerSlam against Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship. Always love getting a chance to put Jacob over, and I just want to give you an opportunity to talk about how you feel like his trajectory is going. What do you think moving forward for him, and how soon you think he's going to be in the title picture?
Dude, he's great. He is great. He's a monster babyface. He can have a monster babyface.
Yeah.
You know, could be. I mean, I always hate saying couldn't be prouder, but I want that sounds like you're putting a limitation on somebody in my head for some reason. But, you know, I think the skies, I'm whipping out all the cliches. His future's so bright, he has to wear shades.
That's right. Yeah, shades in the dark and inside.
Yes. But I'm so proud of Jacob. Having shared several locker rooms with him. Last one being MLW, when you kind of had a feeling he was going, and he, you know, turned to me and asked me for advice. I'm like, bro, you're wrestling royalty. You're in the royal family. You know, first of all, it's an honor you're asking me when you have such a rich family, you know, bloodline, no pun intended. But yeah, I definitely down the line see a world title championship in his grasp. I think, you know, if he keeps doing things right like he has been. Now, again, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know these things. I'm assuming he's doing the right thing, hence why they're you know, giving him this trajectory. I could definitely see a world championship in his future.
Yeah.
He looks great, dude. He transformed his body. You know, switched over to boots, which, you know, before he was you know, wrestling barefoot, which, mad respect to anybody who can wrestle barefoot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Two things: somebody wrestling barefoot and without knee pads. I'm just like, how are you doing this?
That's easy to me,
dude. And shout out to Brian Myers. I wrestled for him last week for Creative Pro out in Long Island, and I was feeling my, you know, I think I, you know, pulled a hamstring. So I'm like, it's a good thing I'm wearing knee pads. Now I see these guys, you know, Gunther wrestling without knee pads. Jacob was wrestling barefoot. But getting back to Jacob, you know, he transformed his body, you know, switched up his look a little bit, and he's become this phenom, you know, Samoan werewolf. And, you know, he ran in and cleaned house on SmackDown on Friday, and so, you know, it's nothing but up as far as I'm concerned with Jacob Fatu. Yeah, he's probably one of the better talents on all the rosters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just it's always wonderful to watch him. And again, you know, having the opportunity to have seen him in MLW before he made it to WWE, I mean, you just like, I mean, you know how it is. You've been in the locker room long enough. You see someone, you're like, yeah, that guy's got it. Yeah, he's it, you know. And even Mass Edity says here, he's talking about Jim Cornette. And goddamn, said that he would. Oh, goddamn, said he would build a company around Jacob Fatu. I can see why he's that good. Yes, like 100%. If there was anybody to build a company around, I think it's him. And I don't think it's going to be long before he ends up in that title picture, whether it's for the main title or the big gold belt, which I could also see that happening at some point now that Seth Rollins has the title. I definitely think there's something positive coming for him. Mass Entity says, Matt Riddle, no shoes or knee pads yet. Like, I can't, as a non-wrestler, or even as just a human being, I can't imagine what that must be like to wrestle in your bare feet. Like, that's a commitment level, man. That is
just stubbing your toe on a coffee table. Imagine doing a moonsault barefoot. It's like, oh, my feet are all jammed up from doing moonsaults for years.
Yeah.
And I always told Matt, I was like, man, I don't know how you do it.
He
says, bro, so yeah, I don't get it. Then again, Riddle was in MMA, so
I keep forgetting that. Yeah, so that could be, he's probably tempered by the fires of that with his feet. I can't imagine that's
so but shout out to anybody who could do that.
Yeah. Speaking of being tempered by the fires, sir. Tempered by the fires of steel and a pilgrimage over the valleys of Himdale. You mentioned Anchorman, and I had to throw another Will Ferrell reference in there because I was actually watching Anchorman the other night while I was editing and writing, and I had to turn it off because I was laughing. But dare I say, sir?
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Oh my God. What would that be?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. I'm excited to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on our wonderful program. Meanie, what you sipping on today, brother?
Let's see. I got the old Polar Georgia Peach.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And like an asshole, I forgot to put it in the fridge. There's that.
I'm with you on that one, brother. I threw a curveball at you today. I got some Zevia Cola while I was up here just to have something to sip on, and I had this on my tabletop here, and I didn't put it in the fridge last night, so it's a little lukewarm, which is fine. It'll be fine.
Like a warm seltzer kiss,
Listen, I'm just gonna say it'll accentuate all the healthy vibes in it because it's practically a salad, right? So we're gonna crack these open here. You got peach; it's a fruit. It's practically a salad. It works. We're gonna. Sorry, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah!
There we go.
Pinkies up. Cheers, beers.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We got our questions today, man. Sanity with a good one here. The BWO appeared as Kiss at the ECW Arena on this date in 1996. Who came up with that idea and what went into it?
Man, it just seemed like a natural, and my God. It's hard to believe it's been that long,
Yeah.
But, just natural evolution of doing parodies. Kiss had just come back. I just reunited with Unplugged, Kiss on Unplugged, and then they announced the reunion tour, and they're bringing back the makeup. And Kiss is kind of like a wrestling gimmick anyway, and they proved that point, by having the Kiss Demon wrestle in WCW, but. It just seemed like the natural evolution. Now there's only like 3 of us and 4 of them, so we recruited Devious Donnie Allen, to be Peter Criss, and like what's his name? Family Guy. Peter Griffin said.
Yeah, Peter Griffin. Yeah.
Even Peter Criss doesn't want to be Peter Criss. Even Peter Criss doesn't want to be Peter Criss.
You think that's bad?
Yeah. But no, Peter, Peter Chris. Donnie Allen, we recruited him to be a part of the skit. And the guitars, those are his guitars, which is kind of cool. But it was a great idea. It was a fun idea. It just seemed like a natural evolution. Now, we actually debuted it the night before the arena at Lulu Temple, which I tried to forget about because we bought the wrong kind of paint. We bought clown makeup, like the grease paint, and it was so warm in the building, and we were sweating through it. We kept having to wash it off and reapply it. But luckily, Blue Temple had like a walk-in freezer, so we had to put on our makeup and go and stand in a walk-in freezer and have somebody give us our cue to run out. Like right as we're about to go out, they knock on the door. All right, you're on, and then we leave the freezer and go straight to the ring.
Oh man!
But then Nova remembered that hey, we paint our face with acrylic. Why not just go get some white acrylic and do our faces up that way? And hence the night 2 we looked way better.
Yeah.
Kiss. And I say this every time I talk about it. If you look into the crowd, facing the camera, and you look a little to the left, you see a young Tony Khan standing in the crowd.
Yep, that's
holding up signs. We had a mutual friend named Jeremiah, and he has this. I don't know why Jeremiah. My Jeremiah might not have been there, and he's holding up a sign. We want Jer, which we all call Jeremiah, Jer for short. But see a young Tony Khan in the crowd there.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's wild, man. Yeah, Tony Khan. Shout out to friend of the show, Tony Khan. Good to see you, sir. Actually, a pleasant Baba Booey to you, Mr. Khan.
Yes.
Got our last question for the day. Matt from Dover wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Dudleys and the Hardys at TNA Bound for Glory this fall? One final match. What are your thoughts on that, man? That seems like a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's a little bit of a scary deal knowing that how Devon's been banged up for a number of years. He's had back issues. When the Dudleys came back at NXT at the arena, he really couldn't even get in the ring. He came down to get the tables for Bubba, and I'm interested to see how this works out. I love Devon. I love everybody involved in the match, but I know Devon's been having back issues, so I want to see how they pull off this magic trick here. With knowing that his back's been pretty jacked up. So
yeah.
But those two teams, along with Edge and Christian, revolutionized the tag team business. To the point where they start having a pay-per-view called TLC, tables and chairs. So it's going to be fascinating. But again, I'm a little concerned. Hopefully, Devon, is okay. Is well enough to backwise to do that match.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. I'm sure it's going to be great. Like I said, I've been consistent about this. Dudleys are my favorite tag team of all time. I'm looking forward to see them have one final run. Even though whether it's a TNA, whether it's WWE, I'm excited for it.
I was fortunate enough to to be in that locker room as they rose up the ladder in ECW, and they went from being two guys in the overalls and stuttering and all that stuff to becoming teaming up together and becoming one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yep. Looking forward to it, man, and looking forward to your answers each and every week, as well as your questions. And don't forget to drop the hashtag #AskMeanie, and you may hear your question on the show. But Meanie, sir, it's that time. Where can people keep up to date, good sir, with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. To support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. The sport Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil or Balm or both. Shout out to Josh Thornton, doing an amazing job over there at MadCatBeardCare.com. He rounds up the feral cats in his neighborhood, takes them to the vet, and releases them better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, go support a great brand at MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Al Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others, are trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter, UPW Video Game. The figure collection bone-crushing Wrestler Series 1's variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Select either regular Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there is no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast, book the Blue Guy, and let's have a conversation. Over at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the site, not through the app. The app takes way too much of your hard-earned money. I did a couple this week. Actually, I did a few this week, and they're all great. So let's make somebody's day a little bit better at cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and potentially maybe Blue Sky. I don't know, man. The app is still on my phone. I haven't opened it in a while. Almost like when you open an old app, it's like dust blows out. But anyway, we'll get to it later. But you can find me at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. You can find me there. You can also listen to my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to foundationradio.net. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Get your haircut today by Kane Jordan and the rest of the team, and schedule your appointment today at 10thwardbarbershop.com. Don't forget, today I'll be doing all of my live results coverage for SummerSlam here in New Jersey, as well as my interview with Jacob Fatu is going live. And then actually, if you're watching live right now, it'll be live at 11 o'clock. But by the time you listen to this, it'll already be there. I also have my conversations with Aleister Black, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and many more on the way at the Sportster. So go and find us there at all forms of social media and follow the YouTube page as well. Don't forget to check out my work at Screen Rant, all my network TV news and interviews coming up this fall. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt today and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie in the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to go to Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tier Start Meanie. I don't know if you know this, Blue. As you are your government name, which I believe is on the birth certificate, Blue Meanie. Tiers start at just $10. So you can sign up today and join us each and every week live to watch us here, communicate with you, and hang out, have a good time. It's fucking great. So come and sign up today. And don't forget, if you look above Meanie's head right there, you can find all of our archive at youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials right here at Mind of the Meanie. We appreciate you all for being here and taking your time. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with us on a Sunday morning. And then when you're listening to us on your ride to work or wherever you're at, we appreciate you. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Any help that you can give us there, any comments, always drives us up in search results. So we appreciate you. And Meanie, I appreciate you as always, sir.
Appreciate you, sir.
For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order. Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.